stroganoff. That looks yummy.
Okay guys, so today we're going to be making a classic stroganoff, and you are going to need 2 pounds of steak, 5 teaspoons of garlic, and some olive oil to start. So we use sirloin steak. I sliced it into thin strips. Then you're going to add your Mediterranean sea salt, some crushed black pepper, and I also added some other seasonings to this. They were onion powder and also some garlic powder as well. So while your meat is cooking, you're going to get your onion and you're going to dice it. Now, we're only going to cook the meat to about medium rare right now. The reason why is it's going to continue cooking in the sauce. You're going to add your onion mix after you take out your meat. You're going to get that going and get that sauteed. Okay, so we're going to add some more fresh ground pepper, some more Mediterranean sea salt, some more onion powder, and some garlic powder, but I think it got left out of the video. Right now we're going to add in our pound of sliced portobello mushrooms, and you want the onions and the mushrooms to saute over medium heat. Get them cooked before we add our stick of unsalted butter. And then you're just going to go ahead and add that in cubes to your onions and your mushrooms and let that cook down. Now, you may be asking yourself why the different approach with the video, but if you watch through to the very end, you will see the culprit and the reason behind why we had to do some voice overlay. So you're going to get your pot of water, cook your pasta according to the directions on the back, but we're going to use medium egg noodles. I think the texture and the taste is just far better than a large egg noodle. So you want to add your olive oil into your water and also some of the Mediterranean sea salt before you start to cook your pasta. Now, as you're getting your water boiling, you just need to keep an eye on your mix and make sure it's not burning. Once it's sauteed, you're going to add 2 huge tablespoons of flour. Now, this is where the recipe did not work out too well. I ended up having to make a slurry to thicken up the sauce because with his recipe, it did not thicken. We find that out later in the recipe. In the meantime, you're going to add 5 cups of beef broth to your onions and mushrooms. You're going to add some more pepper and salt, onion powder, and garlic powder. Here's the thing. Spice it up how you like it. So we're going to do 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce. I know that's a hard word for a lot of people to pronounce, but I don't know. It's just not hard for me. We're also going to add 5 tablespoons of Grey Poupon mustard. Now, don't skip out and buy a cheap mustard. You need Grey Poupon. 1 cup of heavy whipping cream. Same thing too for the Worcestershire. Before I forget about that, don't skimp out. Get the Leah Perrins. It is so superior to every other sauce. We're going to add 2 cups of sour cream. And then once we get that in there, we're going to give it a good stir so that the sour cream can reduce down and get into that sauce. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and start cooking our pasta. Now, while you're cooking your pasta, you want to make sure that you are consistently stirring your sauce. You don't want the bottom to burn because it's a cream. You want to cover it and then reduce your heat down to low so that it can get a good simmer after it's already been hot. Go ahead and strain your pasta once it's finished cooking, and then we're going to set it in a bowl and put it to the side for a few minutes while our sauce finishes up. Okay, next up, we're going to take our Italian parsley, dice it, and then we're going to go ahead and add that into the sauce. Now, you can hold back just a little bit if you like it as a garnish, like I do, or you can just put it all in the sauce right now. This is when I started to notice that his recipe was just not going to work out, and I had to make a slurry. So what I did was I took 5 big tablespoons of flour, and then I added water. You whisk it so it's super smooth, and you almost want it, what is the consistency I would say? Kind of like a crepe batter. So don't worry about doing this after the fact. You're going to cook it down. You're not going to taste flour. I know a lot of people are super afraid of this. They want to go with cornstarch. Don't go with cornstarch. Cook this down after you add your slurry for about 10-15 minutes. It's going to cook the flour taste out. Once you've done that, you're going to add your steak back into your sauce and then just let it cook for about 5 minutes. Now we're going to go ahead and add our sauce to our pasta. Give it a super good stir. You want to make sure that sauce hits every single nook and cranny.
I really wish you guys could smell through my phone. Now, I'll admit, this is completely different. I know this is the traditional way to make it. Let's take one more look. But I make it like my grandma made it and my mom made it. So, this is the first time that we're going to give it a try the way that it's normally made, because the sauce that my grandma and my mom make, it's completely different. I don't remember if it was out of like a Betty Crocker cookbook or what, but it smells so good. It smells so good. Here's the stroganoff. That looks yummy. I'll admit, it's the first time I've made it from scratch like this. I always do my grandma and mom's recipe, so we're gonna give it a shot. And theirs is made with ground beef. I think just, you know, grandparents coming out of the Depression, it was just cheaper. They couldn't afford expensive cuts of meat, so this is the first time that I've ever made it from scratch. We're gonna give it a test. I think I'm just as nervous as you, because if I don't like it, I'm gonna let you know. My son tried it. He said he really likes it. I think I have to agree with him. I do too. You can definitely taste the Grey Poupon in there, but it's not overpowering in the least. It gives it a little kick with the Worcestershire sauce. It's really good. Let me show you up close, and hopefully I don't lose any on my table. There's one noodle that's holding on. So that's what it looks like. Now I adapted Joshua Wiseman's recipe. I tweaked it, but I used his as the base. There you have it, and stroganoff made from scratch. Hope you guys enjoyed this recipe and this episode. Don't forget to hit subscribe if you enjoyed cooking with me, and we will see you on the next cooking show. I get you. Get out of the kitchen. Come on. Come here. Come on to me, Mom. Oh. Do you want to make a special appearance? Do you see you? Look in the mirror. Look. Right here. Hey, look. Right there.